Welcome back to Joe's Toolbox Exchange. Today we're looking at a really unique box. This is the first time I've had one of these, and I've been looking for one of them for a while just to see what it feels like. But before we get started, I want to talk about the giveaway really fast. That ends on September 14th for a $300 Klipsch KRSC101 speaker. That is about a week away from today. So September the 15th, we will announce the winner, and the pinned top comment will be the link to enter the giveaway. All right, so to talk about this box, this is an early EPIQ cart. It's the first EPIQ cart they made. It's a KRSC101. They make a cart that is identical to this, or did make a cart that is identical to this. That would be a KRSC100. The 100 didn't have this drawer here. It was just these two. So this is going to be the 101. They essentially added one extra drawer. And this drawer was an add-on, so you could buy a 100 and then down the road add a drawer to make it a 101, and that part number would be a 100W16S. That's the part number for this drawer, and it actually just bolted on, which is pretty unique because Snap-on really doesn't do this too often. I've seen this business practice with a couple other brands like Matco, where you could add a bank of drawers to another box. I think Mac also sticks out when I think of this. They had a slide top cart that only had a few drawers on top, and you could bolt in drawers on the bottom to make it a full bank. But I've never really seen this from Snap-on. And this cart has a lot of unique features that are like that. For one, the stainless top being attached to this box on a solid top. I believe it's the only cart or only Snap-on box I've ever seen do that. On their flip tops, the stainless will sometimes be fixed. They're always fixed on a flip top. But anytime it's a solid work surface where it's not a flip top or a slide top, it's always a separate additional add-on. So if you have like the modern Snap-on carts, like the little workstation, if you want stainless on it, it's actually a stainless bolted to it. Or if you have a double bank box, it's a stainless bolted to it. But this one's actually attached to it. There's no way to buy this box without the stainless. That's unique. Another thing that's unique is these bumpers. They look exactly like an EPIQ. If you want to come down here, this is a modern day EPIQ. This is one we've looked at in another day video. This is a year-old box. It has the exact same, come look at this. It has the exact same shape as the bumpers on that one, but I've never seen Snap-on use the material that's on this cart. This is like a rubber. It's almost a foam. This material here, it's almost like a foam. Come here. You see this? It's not even rubber. It's something in between. I don't know. I've never seen that material on any box. You know, Snap-on on their carts now, like their little 40-inch slide tops, it's like a really hard rubber. But this one is not like that, although it has the exact same shape as an EPIQ. And I think I even have a trim kit that would be the exact same. Now that I'm thinking of it, probably won't be able to find it. But the pieces that go in the top of it, we did find it. So this right here, this is the extra pieces off of any EPIQ they make now. So this piece is what fits on like that orange box we just looked at. It's actually the exact same, this is for the other side, but as what's in here. So it's the same like structure, just a different material. I don't know why they did this. It looks like it held up pretty well, but that's just another thing that's unique. Another thing that's unique about this cart is the wheels. I've never seen wheels like this. So here we have this cart on its back in a truck bed, and you can see these 4 pins I'm talking about. They pull out and they can lock in at any 90-degree angle, so your wheels will not pivot on you, and you can change the steering end pretty easy. It's the same as the other EPIQs, just a slightly different design. When we were taking this box off a trailer, I sent someone far to get this. I sent one of my guys 4.5 hours to go pick this box up. At the end of the day, I won't make anything on this box, but I did just buy it because I wanted it. It's cool, and I probably will ultimately end up selling it, but I just wanted to see one. I've seen them online a couple of times, and I've just never seen one in person, and they look cool. And actually, the first time I saw one of these was in a video, and we'll post a link to that video down below, and it was this exact box with a Cummins engine on it, a 1,200-pound Cummins engine on it. I mean, just massive, hanging off every side of the box. And the guy was just rolling it around his shop. And it's pretty impressive to put that kind of weight on a box and still just have it move as freely as it did. And I think it is because of the casters just being so large. And like I said, all four of those wheels pivot. So it's not the same as the other Epics, but it's similar to the other Epics. How the other Epics, you can pull a pin out and twist it in and allow the wheel to rotate this way. This has it too, but they're actually facing into the box. Usually they're facing towards that way, so that's a totally different mechanism. It's differently designed, although functions similar, and the wheels are just huge. Overall, they're much bigger than what's on an Epic now. The wheels themselves are just bigger. I mean, there's no suspension in them, and they're still, I mean, we can measure it. They're probably 8-inch casters. Yeah, they're like on the dot. They're 8-inch. So that's, I mean, big considering like what's on like a Master Series right now is hardly even a 6-inch. So this, if you want to come show this, this is the only documentation I could find on this box when I tried, was this picture right here. And this is from the 1100 catalog. In the 1000 catalog, it was not there. And in the 12 catalog, it was not there. This is the only reference I could find to it. They don't actually talk about it anywhere in here, and it's not anywhere else in here. I mean, they go on to talk about in detail everything else in this photo, but, I mean, it's just not here. So I could not find it there. This is going to be what they have now, sort of as replacements to this. I wish they still made this cart. It is really cool. This is going to be like their little workstation. It's like an Epic, but it's not very tall, but it's still 30 inches deep. And then this is a sidekick. These are pretty cool, and they are also 30 inches deep. So this box, while I'm talking about the depth, is strange because it's not 30 inches deep. It's the only Epic, they call this thing an Epic. It's the only Epic I've ever seen that's not 36 or 30 inches deep. It's 26. So that's strange, which means that the slides in it are not going to be standard Epic slides, which means I do not know the weight rating. I reached out on Garage Journal asking for some advice because you guys are really helpful. And the Neural Nut came back with data sheets on this box from a flyer that he had from years ago, and that did have some additional information in there. It had the overall capacity for the box. It does not have the list price on it. So since the box is no longer made, I have no idea what this box originally cost. And also, it did not mention the slide weight rating. I will say my guess is 227 because it looks exactly like the Epic slides in any other box that's 227. They're just a little bit smaller. So I'm guessing they took that exact same slide and just shrunk it down a tiny bit, which means if anything, the weight rating would have actually increased because it would have lowered the overall max pullout on the drawer. So I would say I'm guessing 227. It did have the weight rating for the entire box. It's 2,000 pounds, which is a lot. And they say the top of the box can handle 1,000 pounds. But like I said in that video, he had 1,200 on it and it was rolling fine. And like most things with Snap-on, when they say the threshold is something, it's actually quite a bit above that. They just be a little conservative with their ratings, you know. On a 227-pound drawer slide, I've seen well over 250 and the slide's holding fine. So I would say, they say it's 1,000, it's probably more like 15 on the top of it. It had the cubic and the square inch capacity. The capacity for the cubic inches is 7,943. And then the square inch capacity on this box is 2,362. But that is for the model without this extra drawer here. So the 100. They didn't have any data for the 1011 or the 101, sorry. And they said the weight rating capacity or the weight of the entire box was 320 pounds. And then we threw this box on a scale, a pallet scale, and it said 370. So I don't know if that's an extra 50 drawers from this, which is possible. It's pretty heavy. So that is pretty much all the specs on it. We have, I would say, we hit the dimensions really quick. It's 26 like we talked about. From the floor to the top lip, it's about 43. And then from side to side, it is 38. And those measurements are not including the rubber bumpers. This box does not have the handle. If you want to come show this, though, another unique thing is I've never seen this handle anywhere else. It's not an Epic handle. I don't know what that is. It's got like a square, really square pieces on the end. I just never seen anything like that from Snap-on. So once again, something that's a little bit unique. It also has a really thick steel plate with a lip around it that's actually sitting in there. And then it's not a false bottom. It's got another full bottom underneath that. So you could put a lot of weight here. All right, so we'll get into the drawers now. If you want to show this from the side, it's the exact same part, and all of this is the exact same as a modern day EPIQ. You have your click latch, and it just clicks in, the same as every other EPIQ we've looked at. You have one skinny drawer and one deep drawer. Your drawer depth on that top one is pretty deep for a skinny drawer. It's 4 inches, and then below that you are at 6 inches. Both drawers are going to be 30 inches side to side and about 23.5 front to back. So the drawers are a decent size. By carts of this time period, this cart is a 2008, and I could be wrong, but I think the production from this box is 2008 to 2012. So if you're looking back at 2008, 2012, most carts were only 20 inches deep, so this cart is very large by those standards. Now with, their other carts being 30 inches deep, it's actually not that large, but still, you get a lot of storage here. And then this, when you lock the box, the drawers lock really smooth. This does not. This is an add-on. There's actually a little lever underneath here. You pull this lever up and then you pull it out, and it has a really good shut to it. I mean, when it hits that last, it's very solid. It's not going to come open, but it doesn't lock. They said this was for like a works in progress, for like parts storage, not tool storage is what the idea was. So you would have maybe you're rebuilding something up here and you have a lot of little parts, and you could put parts trays in here. So as you're working, you have, common use tools, probably sockets, and then components in here. So you could be pulling them out. This was for temporary storage is what they said. It wasn't meant to be holding tools. And the depth on that drawer is going to be 6 inches. But as you can see, it's a little bit, it's actually about the same. So it's about 30, and then the depth is 25. So it's actually quite a bit bigger than the drawers above. And I'm guessing that's because on the back of it, the locking mechanism, yeah, exactly. So these drawers the drawers up here are gonna have to be farther in for the locking mechanism, but this drawer is able to come all the way to the back. And you can see here how this piece is just screwed in. They just screwed it in. And if you want to show here the serial numbers and model numbers, N is a 2008 is the number. We've talked about that in other videos. And then this is a 101. So it's a little bit strange. This is why it's unique, because it's a 101, but you could buy a 100. You could bolt this drawer on it and make it a 101, which Snap-on just traditionally doesn't do that. Kind of, other than changing drawers around, you really can't modify a box. And I like that. I like that they had a modular system. I wish they did more of that. I wish they made a second drawer that could go below that. That would be really cool, but they don't make these at all anymore, and I'm not really sure why, because I think for the size, it's like a really nice work cart compared to like what we use right here. This is kind of the equivalent now, I would say. If you want an open bottom, this is as good as you're going to get. This is the nicest open bottom cart Snap-on makes currently. It's got a stainless bottom. It's got 3 drawers. They make one that has open sides. This one has solid sides, so it's a little bit higher weight rating on the top, but it's still nothing compared to what this thing is. I wish that this was still manufactured. I think that's pretty much everything here I wanted to discuss. I don't know what this box will sell for. I have no idea. I know what I paid for it, but I don't know ultimately in the end what I'll get for it. I think I will try to sell it. I wish it was in slightly better condition. If I was going to keep it, I'd probably want it a little bit nicer. But overall, it's nice. I mean, it's got a little bit of wear here. If you were going to work out of this thing, I don't think it's a problem. But I do appreciate you guys watching. I'll pin down below the link to enter the giveaway, a link to the video with the Cummins engine on top of it, along with all of the data that I mentioned in this video, just in Word format. And I'll have the weight rating and all of the specs and everything listed there. So it's a little bit easier to look back on down the road if you find one of these and are thinking about purchasing one. The thing weighs a lot. It was a pain to get out of a truck bed, even with 2 guys. 370 pounds is not light, considering most Snap-on carts are around 200, so this thing's twice as heavy. So I appreciate you guys watching, and until next time, thank you.